In the temple, there are 2 statues of gods, several offerings, and a pair of vases that look astonishingly similar to the Uruk vase. Archaeologists assume that this masterpiece from the Temple of Inanna had a similar partner piece, and both stood in the temple. So the 2 vessels in this depiction become part of the story they tell, an infinite self-referential mirroring. This play of references is no coincidence, for the object itself becomes a game. The ritual of marriage between the ruler, Dumuzi, and the goddess, represented by a priestess or temple courtesan, was celebrated annually. The sacred wedding also recalled the fate of the god Dumuzi, who had to spend half the year in the underworld and be reborn every year, just like the plants. It guaranteed the continuity of this cycle and simultaneously explains the simple, conical form of the vessel, since the vase can also be thought of as a giant cylinder seal, which, rolled out into infinity, symbolizes an ever-returning cycle of marriage and harvest, supported by the eternal hierarchy of the divine order. The Uruk vase is not only for viewing, but also holds its message in its form, and the way in which it makes itself part of its own history. It portrays a world in which humans have subjugated the earth and are themselves subjects of the gods, a world in which everything follows a divine order. This order, however, contains an ambivalent element. Humans are the only creatures that appear on the vase on 2 different levels, half animal and half divine. They inhabit an intermediate realm. Clearly, this dual nature created a tension that was already difficult for Mesopotamians to bear. People told each other stories about this, as they do about all great tensions, ruptures, and fears. One of these stories, about a great king who was 2/3 divine and 1/3 human, and who set out to subjugate nature and death itself, became one of the central narratives of Uruk. It was recorded on 12 clay tablets at the start of the 2nd millennium BCE by a scribe and priest named Sinlaki Unini, based on ancient tradition, in a system of signs developed some 1,800 years previously to facilitate stock keeping. Writing